It is to see firsthand the value and importance of a free press in a democracy when that press is doing its job. And we don't focus on the bad aspects of U.S. journalism or the mediocre. We focus on the very best practices and the very best people, because that's the standard that we want to hit.
Stop, children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Even though we're a smaller world because of the internet and mass communication, it's amazing each year that these journalists who come over who think they know the U.S. don't really know the U.S. And there's no way to really know the U.S. without personally experiencing it. And our program is so unique in terms of, first of all, bringing them to the American heartland, where they would probably never get in their careers, even the next 20 or 30 years. They get to New York, they get to Los Angeles, but they're not going to come to Minneapolis, Minnesota. And so being in a good-sized city, but in the heartland of the U.S., and some of the things we do to sort of tell them about that part of the U.S. is a great beginning. And then just the ability to show them the whole continent, south, west, north, I think is an invaluable experience, and the only way they really do learn the nuances of America. You can get a lot of stuff from movies, from mass media, but you don't really understand the complexity and nuances unless you experience it.
Well, I think the most important thing that WPI offers the participants is access to an open society. And certainly during my time, it was a more restricted world. And the ability of these journalists to come to the United States and meet people from all walks of life and have them speak openly, candidly, without fear, was a real eye-opener. It was a media practice that they were not familiar with, as well as just a conversation where they're not writing or expounding on anything. It was simply a matter of sharing human values and learning about another culture.
Hello everybody, I'm Andra Miron, I am from Romania, I am WPI alumni, class 2011. I'm really grateful for everything that's happened for me there. It was that I met a lot of wonderful people who helped me out understand the American spirit and what media is about in the US. I wanted so much to do this WPI program because I was looking for standards in the media industry, and I wanted to know how things are done in the greatest democratic country ever.
It's just a network of like-minded souls who find each other and appreciate each other and maybe even love each other. It builds bridges. Bridges of understanding, bridges of friendship, bridges of whatever the interest is that is common between two people.
WPI was created to allow people to come over and see firsthand what the United States is like, instead of forming their opinions through our movies, our television, our books, and our blue jeans, and whatever else that were overwhelming in their countries. To see firsthand and form their own opinions. And this is still true today, although it's completely focused on journalists, so that journalist reporting can be better.
Clearly, meeting Lyndon Johnson was in my era. And it wasn't like we were there for a second. Lyndon Johnson delivered the speech on the war on poverty to us first.
And somehow you never forget what poverty and hatred can do when you see its scars on the hopeful face of a young child.
I found that the WPI influenced the participants beyond just the immediate time that they were in the program, and they developed a lifelong affinity for Minnesota and appreciation for the program that carried through their careers. And I think that's paid tremendous dividends to this country.
That's the standard that they want to hit. And when they go back to their countries, they are an ambassador to that idea. They themselves will produce journalism that fits into that belief that the press has an important role in the daily lives of people, and it's the only reason they should exist, is to let their readers, listeners, and viewers understand the important things that are going on. Education, healthcare. Why do our children die more often than the children in the countries even next to us? You train a reporter to see the data, to figure out what that data means, to find the experts that tell it, and very few people are doing that in the context of the role and responsibilities of free press, which they have seen for themselves. And I just don't think there's anything more powerful than that.
My experience with the WPI was life-changing.
I'm hoping now that we have 50 years under our belt, it will be that this 50th anniversary celebration will be a springboard for hopefully another 50 years. Maybe that won't happen, but I think the program is just too valuable a resource to the international journalists, to America, not to continue. And I'm just hoping that we can use our history and not be tied to our history, but use that to jump into the next 50 years.